Today is Q&A Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about the 401k and a special feature that might help you save the most possible and get the most matching contribution. So today's question comes from Mark, and Mark asks, are there any drawbacks to maxing out the 401k in the beginning of the year? Now, it doesn't matter if you're a delayed saver, you make changes to your 401k, or want to save a ton of money. It actually doesn't matter because this could affect you and you might be missing out on free money. So you're definitely going to want to watch this if you have a 401k and it has matching contributions. But before we do, if this is your first time at our channel or you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button at the bottom. My name is Travis Sickle, Certified Financial Planner with Sickle Hunter Financial Advisors. So even if you're contributing the match amount, the percentage, you actually might be missing out on the match because you might be doing it wrong. And there's a couple of ways or a couple of things that you need to look at that I'm going to point out today. But before we do that, let's get into just the general contributions of the 401k so you know where you are and you know what the max contribution you could put in. Now, there are some people out there that think the max contribution is only up to the match, and that's not true. So the 401k for 2019 is a maximum contribution of $19,000. Now, if you're 50 or older, you can do an additional $6,000. Now, you want to key in on the matching contribution because that is the free money that you want to make sure that you're at least getting that portion to it. But just because you are contributing the same amount, so let's say that it's a 6% match or a 4% match, and you're putting in that 4 or 6%, then you should be getting 4 to 6%, but not always. So how is that even possible? If you're putting in 4% or 6% and you don't get the full 4 or 6% match. So let me start with an example. So this is going to be somebody who earns $52,000 a year, and we'll have them contributing after 6 months because they just got this job maybe January 1st, again for easy math, and they want to wait for whatever reason. Maybe you want to just get situated. You want to make sure that you can pay your bills. You're really excited about saving, but you just want to get things situated before you start those contributions. So you wait 6 months, again, for easy math. So let's say you make $52,000 a year. So that's $1,000 a week or $2,000 every other week. So that would be 26 pay periods for the year. So after 6 months, that means we would have 13 payments left to make. So that'd be $2,000 per paycheck. So of that $2,000, we're going to contribute 8%. Now remember, the match is 4%. So we're going to say, hey, I want to contribute the full amount for the year, so I'm going to double my contribution. So that's 8% for the rest of the year. So that means each paycheck, we would save $160 because that's 8% of our $2,000. That's going to be $160. Multiply that by 6 months or the 13 pay periods that are left, and that's going to equal a total contribution of $2,080. Now, when you're making those contributions, it's done on a per pay period or per paycheck period basis. So what that means is you're going to get $80 because that's 4%. Remember, the match was 4%. So we're going to get that 4%, but it's only going to be $80. And again, that's going to be multiplied by the same amount, same 6 months. So it's going to equal to $1,040. Now let's take a minute and review that. That means we were contributing 8% for 6 months, which would work out to that $2,080. Now that means you contributed a total of 4% because your total contribution was $52,000. But because you waited the 6 months, it was only based on that 6 months. So it's per paycheck, which equals exactly what you got as a match, which was the $1,040. So you missed out on exactly $1,040 if you had done it over the course of the year. Unless, and here's the key feature, unless your plan has what's called the true up feature. What that means is at the end of the year, they go back and say, okay, in this situation, you made $52,000 and you contributed $2,080, which is 4%. Therefore, we're going to contribute the additional $1,040 to bring that total match to $2,080, which is the full match of the 4%. Now that's the key feature. So you want to go back if you're making any sort of adjustment to your 401k and make sure that it has this true up feature. So it's a simple feature. A lot of plans have it, but not all of them. So you want to check that. Now, why would that be important? Well, if you know that your plan does not have the true up feature or does have the true up feature, it might affect how you start your savings. So in this instance, if you did not have the true up feature, you might actually want to consider making additional sacrifices elsewhere to make sure that you're getting that full match, well knowing that you're going to start contributing in 6 months. So maybe you just bite the bullet and do it early. On the flip side, if you knew you had the true up feature, then it wouldn't be an issue in this scenario because you had the true up feature, you doubled down and started contributing the full 8%, which would catch you up to the full 4% for the entire calendar year. Because that's what the contributions are based on an entire calendar year. So you want to make sure the true up feature is a part of your plan. Now, if it's not, there's not a whole lot you can do, but it's, again, a good idea just to know about the true up feature, whether or not you have it, so you know how to make those contributions. So that first scenario was our delayed saver. Now let's talk about somebody who's an aggressive saver. At any income level, let's say the same scenario where you're doing a different contribution than the full 4%, where you're doing maybe 10% or 15%, and you max out your 401k before the end of the year. Now, the same scenario where you're matching, you're getting those matching contributions on a per paycheck basis. So what that means is, let's say that we did this in the first half of the year, that we only wanted to contribute the 10 or 15% for the first 6 months of the year. And let's say, doing that math, we hit the maximum contribution of $19,000. Well, what that means is the next paycheck after that, your plan would not allow you to contribute any other money. So that means you're not going to get the match again. So if you don't have the true up feature, you've contributed the maximum amount and will actually be shorted the amount of matching contributions. Now, the same instance applies to this with the true up feature, where if you have the true up feature, they're going to look at the math and see that you contributed the full 4%, and they will make sure that you're getting the full 4% match. In order to fix this scenario, this fix, even if you don't have the true up feature, is a little bit simpler, because all you need to do is making sure that you're contributing all the paychecks throughout the course of the year. So maybe instead of contributing their 10 or 15% for the entire year, maybe you bring that down so you'll hit that full $19,000 contribution limit at the end of the year. Now, doing so and making sure that it's spread out throughout the course of the year will ensure that you're getting the full company match. So again, this goes back to the true up feature. And it's very, very important that you're familiar with the true up feature. And it's quite simple. If you have the true up feature, that means you're going to get the full match if you contributed the right percentage based on your annual contribution and not on a per paycheck basis. So really, at any income level or contribution amount, you want to be aware of the true up feature, because if you're not contributing the right amount at the right time, you might be missing out on free money. And as I showed you in the first example, you would have missed out on $1,040 going into your plan just because you made a timing error. So it doesn't really matter if you're a delayed saver or you make changes or you're an aggressive saver and you're saving a lot of money. So it doesn't matter. Anybody could be affected by the true up feature, whether or not you have it. So it's a good idea to just do a little research and figure out whether or not you have it, so you can make sure that you're contributing the right amount at the right time into the 401k to maximize your retirement plan contributions and just to have more money in your pocket. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and leave your comments down at the bottom.